So let's go ahead and talk about the operations and maintenance on the BR3512. One of the cool things about the BR3512, it's a very simple unit to operate and definitely to maintain. You notice we got a couple different things. We have yellow, we also have light gray. Now, the reason why I point that out is because it's important to remember that anything that's in yellow has to do with something you're going to be dealing with during the normal operation of this piece of equipment. Likewise, anything that's in light gray is something you're going to deal with at the end of the day. So, remember it like this. Yellow, something I need to be trained on for daily operation. Light gray, at the end of the day, for maintenance. It's really that easy. So let's go ahead and go over the machine just a little bit, get you familiar with it. On this side we have the key switch. So you guessed it, if I go from off to on, well, we're going to have some indicator lights that's going to come on back here. First thing you're going to see is the actual battery indicator light. So on this side over here we actually have the water flow. Now you can see we have a minimum, we have a maximum. Now the thing that's important to remember when you talk cylindrical versus say like a disc machine, we don't need a lot of water because the cylindrical unit is actually constantly throwing the water forward. It's not actually throwing it out. So if we're operating this machine and we have it down here, and if I start seeing water come outside, you have way too much water coming out, simply just adjust this down a little bit. That's a good thing about cylindrical. You get a great scrub, you don't need a lot of water, you don't need a lot of juice because we can reduce all that for you. So what we're going to do, again, we're going to turn the key switch on. I'm going to go ahead and hit my solution switch on this side. Now you're also going to notice we have an eco mode switch over here. Now if it's on, the eco will actually be eliminated for you. Now the beautiful thing about that, if we need to reduce the noise level and everything like that for daytime cleaning, we can. However, if you want to have maximum vacuum, maximum solution and everything else for a normal scrub or maybe even a double scrub, we'll go ahead and simply turn the eco off. Okay, but at least you have that availability. So here's what we're going to do. We'll turn the key switch on. Make sure our water flow is closer to the minimum versus the max. Again, we want to keep the water contained inside, not outside. Go ahead and do the choose between eco or not. On this side over here, this is actually going to control your vacuum on and off, but it also keeps your squeegee either on the ground or in storage position. So go ahead, hit the switch down. That's going to engage my vacuum when I pull this yellow trigger. Now the other benefit of this machine, as you can see, I have the switch on. Everything should be loud and noisy right now, right? No, because nothing happens until you physically hit this. Now once I hit the yellow trigger, everything starts to work for me. The solution's going to flow, my brush is going to spin, and my vacuum kicks on. Now the reason why I turned this off real quick is because the other cool thing about this machine is when you let go of the trigger, the vacuum is designed to run for about 3 to 5 seconds-ish to be able to try to clear any water that's inside the hose. So you guess that we don't have the drip and then water coming back out from underneath the machine. So again, to go over it, simple, key switch on, water on, eco on or off. Simply hit the vacuum, hit the paddle, and away you go. Alright, let's go and talk about the maintenance on the BR3512. We actually try to make this very simple for you. Remember, light gray at the end of the day. So if we start with this is actually our water distribution rail. It's a good idea to go ahead and take that cover off, inspect it, make sure we got even water flow all the way across on the brush. Next thing you notice that this end cap is actually graying as well. All you have to do is simply push in on it, that'll drop the brush. Now when you take your brush out and your debris bin out, go ahead and actually wipe the underneath of that, make sure you get all the dirt, debris, and all the other stuff. So that way next time we use it, when it gets wet, it doesn't redeposit back on the ground again. Next thing we have back here is the squeegee assembly. Make sure you take that off, clean the inside of it, inspect it, because remember, this needs to work well too, because we need a dry floor. Next thing we have here, even though I know this is yellow, this is actually our recovery tank. It's a good idea to obviously drain this, make sure it's nice and clean, get something inside there and kind of swirl it around. So this, and then the other thing I want to point out is this is our recovery tank lid. So it's a really good idea to go ahead and crack this open. That way it's nice and dry next time we need to use it. Now, once you get through all this, wipe the machine down, make sure it looks good. Last but not least, plug it into the wall. Why? Well, because it needs to be charged for next time around. This is all you need to know as far as the maintenance of the BR3512.